Hi, hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing something totally new for me and I'm thinking, I haven't obviously filmed it yet so I don't know, but I'm thinking I might make this like a little monthly feature on here. So I'm going to do, bear with me, my battery is running out. I better go and get another one. I'm back. Vlogger lesson 1. Put a new battery in the camera before you sit down to film. I even changed the memory card, I don't know why. And I'd also forgotten to put lipstick on, and I put lipstick on, and now I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this colour, but I can't be bothered to change it, so it's a bit orange. But anyway, I'm waffling on. I was explaining, wasn't I, what this new feature is going to be. So it's going to be a currently video, so it's kind of going to be a little bit like a favourites video, but not just a favourites video. I'm not going to pretend for a second that this is my completely amazing and original idea. I have spoken before about the fact that I like a good planner, I like a good like diary organiser type thing, and the one that I use is called a happy planner, and in happy planner every single month you get a currently page to fill in, and I quite like going through those topics and just having a think about and reflecting over the month. I'm going to do this video as my April currently video, and I'm going to talk about what I have been doing under all these different headings in April. Are you with me? I hope you're going to find this interesting. I'm going to crack on because there's quite a lot of different topics for me to like waffle through, so I'd better get cracking. The first one is reading. Now at the moment I am not reading as much as I would like, mainly because I go to bed, I start to read and I fall asleep. The book that I'm reading at the moment is called A Little Life and I am loving it. I'm not even entirely sure how I would begin to describe this as a book, but it's not like, actually it's not really like anything I've ever read before, but I'm loving it. I've been reading it for ages. It's taking me ages to get through it, not as a reflection on the book, just on a reflection of how little time I have to read. But it's a very good book and I would recommend it. Okay, the second heading is planning. What have I been planning in April? I have mainly been planning an upcoming trip to Disneyland. If you follow me on Instagram, you will probably already know about this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, maybe you should. Maybe I'll just pop my my name on Instagram down here so that you can follow me. But Dylan and Everly are parts of a kind of theatre school, and the theatre school auditioned for the opportunity to perform at Disneyland, and their audition was successful. And I am piggybacking on this very successful audition and turning it into a little family holiday, because we weren't actually going to have a holiday this year. This year was going to be a year of no holidays and we were going to kind of crack on with stuff around the house. But then this opportunity's arisen and I can't really not take the opportunity. I'm also, can I just say, slightly jealous of the fact that my children are going to get to perform on stage at Disneyland, because I would probably lose a limb to do something like that. Like, that is really exciting stuff. And I don't think they fully grasp. They don't grasp, they probably won't grasp it till they're grown up. What an amazing opportunity that is. So, yes, we are going to Disneyland in a couple of months' time, and I have been planning, working out where we're going to stay, thinking about what park we're going to do on what days, having to think about what food. It's very exciting. And watching. Game of Thrones came back this month. I don't really feel like there's anything else to add. Like, Game of Thrones came back. If you're not watching Game of Thrones, I mean, I do get it, it's not everybody's bag, but it is definitely our bag. Rich and I love watching Game of Thrones, and we're 2 episodes in at the time I'm filming this, and it's only a 6-episode season, and it's the last season, and I already feel a little bit bereft at the idea that it's going to be over. You know, when you're like reading a really good book and you're ploughing through it at great speed and then you realise it's going to finish, does anybody else then kind of like ease off, almost like you don't want to read it too fast because you don't want it to be over? That is a little bit like how I feel about Game of Thrones. I'm going to miss the characters so much when it's over, but I am also ready to just know what's going to happen now. Cooking. I always struggle to fill this one in every month because I don't cook. But in the topic of food preparation, not technically cooking. I'm really enjoying at the moment the fact that like the weather has cheered up, going for like a lighter lunch, and I've been having an avocado and turkey wrap at lunchtime, which I've been very much enjoying. So eating stuff that you are consuming but not necessarily having to prepare. Barbecue season is back. We have already had 3 barbecues, I think. If you aren't familiar with the setup that we have in this house, Rich basically does all of our cooking, and Rich loves an excuse to cook outside on fire. I think it's a bit of a man thing, and he loves to barbecue, so as soon as the weather is even vaguely nice, the barbecue comes out and he likes to barbecue all the meals. So I am loving the fact that we're back into barbecue season, and I am loving cheeseburgers. Now, anybody that followed me will know that cheeseburgers was a big pregnancy craving of mine that doesn't ever seem to have gone away. So Wylder is now a year old, still loving cheeseburgers just as much as I was when I was pregnant. So I think that's just maybe a thing now. Maybe it wasn't a craving at all, just turned into a cheeseburger monster. Drinking. I have been drinking a bit of Pimm's because they kind of go hand in hand with barbecue really. So I like the strawberry Pimm's. I mean, I like a standard Pimm's, but the strawberry Pimm's is a little bit sweeter. It's like grown-up squash, but it is particularly delicious. So I have been enjoying drinking my strawberry Pimm's. Pinning. Who uses Pinterest here? I have been pinning lately garden stuff because we are kind of making over our garden a little bit. I mean, we're not doing anything big or major, but we are doing some sort of DIY stuff to the garden. So we are in the process of painting the fence. We want to sort out the borders down the sides, just getting summer ready really. So yeah, I have been pinning garden ideas like it's going out of fashion. Crafting. Now, I'm a crafty person and I love a bit of craft, but I actually don't have any current crafts on the go at the moment. But I am very much enjoying still using my planner, and I kind of see that as a bit of a craft because every week I sit down and I do my planner and I kind of do a sort of arty weekly spread with it. So I'll kind of use stickers and washi tape and just make it look pretty, and I feel like I'm kind of scratching that craft itch without having to kind of have loads of stuff on the go. Going outside. I am loving the fact that we're getting to be outside more. I'm mainly also liking the fact that I can open the doors and send the children outside more and have a small piece of peace and quiet indoors. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I love the change in the weather. I like the fact the weather has cheered up and you can almost smell summer now. Loving my little family. We've had such an exciting April because Wylder has turned 1 this month, and it's just been really lovely to reflect back on where we've kind of come from and where we are as a family. So it already seems crazy to me that a year ago we were just in those sort of first few days of life as a 6 and life with 4 children. I'm loving looking back on memories, but I'm just loving my little family. Like, they're all great. Dreaming of summer. Enough said, just dreaming of summer. Feeling content. I just feel like, I think it's something about this time of year. I don't know if I've mentioned how excited I am about the fact that it's warming up, but I just feel like this time of year, I just feel it's kind of that whole fresh new start, that spring thing. Like, it just is a really nice time of year. It feels like there's this whole of like blank page of summer lying ahead. The weather is nicer. We all have hard days, don't we? I'm not going to pretend for a second I don't have hard days, because I do. But I feel like I feel very lucky and I feel very happy and very content with my lot in life right now. Listening to podcasts. I have loved podcasts for years. I've listened to podcasts for years, but I would definitely say my podcast listening has ramped up a bit lately. So I tend to listen to podcasts in the car when I haven't got the big 3 in the car, because they don't tend to like to listen to the sort of podcasts I like to, which is really unfair. But I also tend to listen to podcasts a lot when I am folding laundry just generally doing housey stuff. And when I was painting the fence a couple of weeks ago, I managed to get through the entire Dirty John podcast, which I would definitely recommend listening to if you haven't already. It is the podcast that inspired the new, it's Netflix, isn't it? The new Netflix Dirty John series, which I haven't watched yet, but I really want to watch. I wanted to watch it anyway, but I really want to watch it now. I've listened to the podcast. I'm massively into kind of those crimey type podcasts, so I really enjoyed Serial. If you haven't already listened to that, it's great. S-Town, which is also by Serial. I also recently listened to a podcast called Slow Burn, which is slightly different, but it's basically one series was about the Nixon, what's the word I'm searching for? What's the word? The Richard Nixon impeachment. I knew it was in there somewhere. And then the second series is about the whole Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky thing. I just feel like they are both stories that I feel like I know a little bit about them, but not a lot about them. And I think both of them are the sorts of things that are referenced quite a lot as kind of like cultural points in like programs I watch, books I read. And I felt like, do you know what, I don't actually know what happened with those. I now sound like a real geek that I'm just talking about that. But yeah, I just found them really interesting. There was so much about both the Richard Nixon and the whole Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton thing that I didn't know about and that I found really interesting to listen to. So if you are into those sorts of things, I definitely would recommend those podcasts. And if you're into those sorts of things, can you recommend me some more? Because I don't know what to listen to next now. And I really like those kind of like investigative, crimey kind of things. So yeah, let me know if you can think of any others. And my final heading is celebrating. So this month we have been celebrating Wylder. He is one. How did we get here? But on top of that, I'm celebrating Mitch and I because it's not a walk in the park looking after 4, but it is 100% worth it. And I feel like we get to celebrate the fact that we have survived, thrived, grown, loved a whole year of 4 little people in our lives. So that was my currently video. I hope you have enjoyed watching it. It's been quite nice to just ramble through some various different topics. I feel like I touched on stuff that I wouldn't normally touch on this channel, like my geeky Game of Thrones love and my geeky podcast love. I just feel like I'm showing you my geekier side on this video. If you have enjoyed watching it, please do give me a thumbs up and let me know what you're currently feeling. Maybe just pick one of the topics I've talked about and just tell me something that you've been up to this month, because it's nice to get to know you guys a little bit, because I feel like you guys get to know a lot about me and I would like to know a little bit more about you. Let me know if you've enjoyed this and I will hopefully try and do another one next month. So I'm going to say goodbye. Have a lovely rest of your day, whatever it is that you are doing, and I will see you for another video really soon. Bye everyone.